Hi everyone, welcome back to Carrie Kirby Creates. I'm Carrie and I hope you're all having a great day. So today's inspirational quote of the day is, "You always pass failure on the way to success." So today's video is going to be a long one, I think, but a very enjoyable one. So make yourself a nice cup of coffee or something and come and join me making this beautiful masculine card. Thank you for watching. Today's card is going to be, it's a masculine card is what I need. And I'm going to be using this heavyweight watercolour paper, or cardstock I should say. It's a good heavy one, £140, which is 300 GSM, and it's cold pressed because I like the texture. I've cut that down to, it's roughly 6 by 6, which is the size that I want to use. And I'm going to be using my Distress inks and my Distress oxides. They're not all oxides, some of them are just, I've got Forest Moss, Bundle Sage, Wild Honey, Walnut Stain and Vintage Photo. Now it's a mixture of the oxides and just the Distress inks, which is just the colours that I have and what I want to use. Now I'm also going to be using some of my beautiful Lavinia Stamps. So I've got, that's the Bonnet set, isn't it? Yeah, it's the fairy Bonnet set. I've got the Thistle Branch and I'm going to be using this fairy called Rue. As you can see, she's been well used and well loved. Now, this is a technique that I saw a while back, and I think it was Marion Embossing, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, anyway, I've seen a couple of people do it, but I think that's where I saw it first. I'm going to come in with some of my inks, and I just want to pop them down here and there on my cardstock. So that's some Wild Honey. Love that colour. Next I'm going to use some of the Bundle Sage. Forest Moss. And I might use the Vintage Photo yet at the end, or either that now or this, the Pebble. which might be a better one because it's a waterproof one for afterwards. Just want to give that a rub down. So next I'm coming in with my stamping platform. Popping that into the corner. And I want to come in with Roof. She's going to be turned that way. I think Rue needs to have a good cleaning. I just want to pick her up. I'm very sorry about this. I'm going to have to just move you out a little bit. There we go, that's better. And I'm going to use my Versafine Claire in Nocturne. I'm going to ink her up. Because there's so much ink underneath, it's going to take a few goes, but I'll get there. It's important that the background is dry, I guess, before you get to this stage. The drier it is, the easier this part will be. Yeah, I was wondering where all the ink is coming from. It's on my hand. Somehow I've made a right mess. Now hopefully that's gone. I don't know how I managed that. And also because this cardstock is textured, you're not going to get that real crisp, sharp image. You know, you're going to have that texture in it, which I quite like, but it's up to you. If you would rather, you know, the smoother cardstock, then you're going to get a, you know, smoother image obviously on it. But yeah, I'm quite liking that. Maybe just once more on her body. And yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to pop my lid on there before I do any more damage with that. Just going to clean that off. And I want to make sure that this is completely dry, so I'm going to give it a blast of my heat gun. So that's the good thing about having the heavy 300 GSM card. It doesn't get too warped with all the inks and the heat. So I'm going to be using the Versamark and my large acrylic block. And I'm popping my thistle leaves down on top of that. So next what I want to do is I want to ink it up with the Versamark. Just pop that down. I'm only going to get one go of this, and it's hard to see whether it's doing what I want it to do or not, but fingers crossed. It's just the bottom part I'll need to ink up, I think, for the rest of the top. So, I don't know if you can see with the light there where it's hit. It's just very faint. I'm going to come in now. I should have gone over with my little powder thing first, but look, it's done now. I'm coming in with my Cosmic Shimmer, and it's the clear one. So, I'm gonna pop that on there. Now, if you end up with any of it where you don't want it, I can see down here there's some sticking and some over roux as well. Hold on, before I cause any more problems, I'm gonna just pop that back in. I'm just going to pop that back on, not to be wasting it. And that's why it's important that you keep your mat clean, because I know there's nothing else on there that will contaminate it. So there we go. Wasn't too much wasted. Again, I'm just going to wipe that down. And like I was saying, I can see some there that I don't want. What I'm going to do is I'm coming in with this little brush, and I'm going to brush that away. Yeah, I think I'm happy enough with that. So I'm going to come in now with my heat gun. So I think you can see it better now since it's melted where they are. So next I want to come in with my little bonnets, and I've just put them down onto that mat there as well. And I want to ink them up also with the Versamark. And actually I'm thinking, learn by your mistake. I'm coming in and I'm going to just pop a bit of that powder down. So that I'll have less cleaning up to do, I guess, afterwards. Now, so just ink them up well with the Versamark. I'm coming in there and want to pop them down there. There we go. Let's see. Just gonna do the tips of them to fill in the gaps. To take you off actually. But you won't be wasted. Just gonna pop you there, my hand. Yeah. Let's see. Just want to pop a little bit more. And hopefully it'll do what I want it to do. Anyway. Now again, coming back in with my Cosmic Shimmer. Here we go. I obviously didn't put enough powder on there, but anyway, that'll come off. So again, I'm just coming in, removing any bits that I don't want. So there we go. Yeah, that looks fine. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to use Rue, just the stamp, and what I want to do is just on a rough piece of cardstock, I want to roughly draw around the outline of that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to come in with my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut it. Not even fussy cut, I'm roughly just cutting it out. And like that, this doesn't have to be any way accurate at all. You'll see why in a moment. Because I wanted to do the stamping and I was just trying to figure out how can I do the stamping first, which is what I needed to do. So there we go. I'm going to just pop that there. Now I'm using a bit of low tack tape, but I'm not taking any chances because in my experience, these low tack tapes are never as low tack as I need them to be. So I've well taken the sticky off of that. But hopefully it'll just hold it down. And now I need to decide, do I want the vintage photo or do I want the Pebble? And I think I'm going to use the Pebble. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the Pebble. So let's see, I want a good big brush for this one. And I'm going to just, it's one I had used for orange, but I have another two there with orange on, I've noticed. At this one, there's actually, they're all, I think I can safely spare an orange one. I don't think I have that many shades of orange in my stash. But anyway, there we go. Just cleaning that off and I'm coming in. I wanted one of the larger headed brushes. And I'm going to completely go over that. Let's see. It's going to pop you on there. Makes more sense, doesn't it? I only have two hands after all. Looking forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. Okay, fingers crossed. Woohoo! Now I don't want this sharp edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm coming back in with my brush. I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm just going to rub it off there on the mat first. I might need to re-ink it actually. And I'm not going to get rid of those lines totally, obviously. But she looks a bit highlighted back there, I think, doesn't she? Yeah, I think that's good. So, next thing I'm going to do is I'm coming back in with my cloth. I'm going to start with her. And because she was done with the Versafine Claire, it's a pigment ink, so that should be fine. And then I'm coming along here and I'm rubbing that over. You can see it's coming off. The parts that were embossed won't have taken on the other ink. You're left with these beautiful colours, look at that. Wow. I am so pleased with that. I've just gone and washed my hands there because I don't want to get my card base inky. I'm just bringing that up. I'm delighted with that. It's just something that bit different, isn't it? And I'm going to be using this. It's an 8x8 card base, but I want to come and matte and layer a bit of the black behind. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. So I just went ahead and I cut that out, and I'm going to just run a bit of this Crafter's Companion tape all along it. Oops, just want that out near the edge. Yeah, I think that's okay. So when you come in with the white card base, it just kind of frames it, yeah. Just makes it pop that bit more, I think. Now I'm going to put a bit of double-sided foam tape on the back of that so that it'll stand up a bit. Just give it a bit of dimension. Make sure I have it turned the correct way, which I have. Now I want to get that some way even as well. Yeah, I think that's okay. And the next thing I want to look into is a sentiment for this card. I have these little die cuts, and it's a happy birthday. It's a birthday card that I'm actually making for my husband. So I've decided to do the back layer in the black and the happy birthday in the white, just so that kind of stands out a bit more. I had considered doing it the other way around, but I want the happy birthday, I guess, to stick out mostly, so let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. The little dot is gone again. Every time I forget. Let's see. Yeah, it's missing. It might turn up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I have the option of placing it on there. I don't want it to cover up too much of the nice background. I can just pop the happy birthday down without the background. Which I think I prefer. Yeah, I don't like the idea of covering up all of that. So it's just a matter of where do I put them. Let's see. Happy birthday. I'd nearly rather the happy birthday was a little bit smaller, but yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So, next I want to get a bit of glue. That's important I don't go making a mess of my card. So I need to, look, I'll concentrate on the happy first. Okay, wherever it ends up is where it's staying, because I don't want to damage my background. I should invest in some spray glue, I think, for the likes of this. But just inhaling it kind of does bother me. Now I could have doubled that up and made it, give it a bit of dimension, you know, a bit of, but no, I'm happy enough with that. Just go ahead and do the same now with the birthday. And again, wherever it lands basically is where it's going to stay. Now I didn't find the dot. I have these little bits, would that be daft? I never remember the dot until afterwards. You know, I'm going to use that. It might seem a bit silly, but bugs me that I never think of it. Yips. There you go. Not going moving you now. The sun has came out, so I'm very sorry. It's probably 1 second. The sun came out in the middle of me filming that, which I certainly aren't going to complain about because we don't get enough of it, but I'm just hoping that it hasn't interfered with too much of it. I won't know until I watch it back. Oops. Where are we? There you go. But I'm very, very pleased with that, and I really, really enjoyed making this card, and I hope you've enjoyed coming along on my journey. I think that makes a beautiful masculine card. What guy wouldn't enjoy receiving that? So as always, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really love if you did. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching.